Hello friends, welcome to Page Object Model Session 1. This is Haradhan once again as usual. Today in this session you will get to know how we can start creating framework with the help of page object models and how we can set up Maven project, and after that setting up different classes and packages, how we can run our fast test case with the help of page object model pattern. Thank you all for watching my videos. In case you are enjoying my videos and learning automation testing and Java, please do like and share my videos. Do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification as and when I will upload any new videos. Do not forget to provide your valuable comment for any input or suggestion. Stay tuned for my next videos. So in this session I will start to creating a framework, right? It will be hybrid framework where I will be using page object model pattern. So what is POM or page object model? Page object model in Selenium WebDriver is a design patterns which help us to create a repository of object. Object means it can be buttons, input field, images, link, hyperlink, right? Or web edit box, right? Or maybe other any kind of field, right? Kind of iframe. So everything can be object. Okay. So the main objective of using page object model in Selenium is to reduce code duplication and improve the maintenance of test in the future. So if you do not create any framework, right? So you have to create your same sort of code multiple times in case same functions or same code will be used multiple times. But whenever we will be creating any framework, right? Definitely we will be create functions or method for each and every reusable code, and definitely for any point of change, right? We will update the relevant method or functions or relevant field so that it will update all the respective field wherever this field or method will be used in the framework. So that is the advantage of creating the framework. So I already covered few sessions for creating like a data driven framework or keyword driven framework. So here we will try to set up an hybrid framework from scratch with the help of page object model. Okay. So user will create a class file for each web page in page object model framework. Okay. So whenever we will be design the framework, right? So for each and every page, suppose you are working for an Amazon page, right? Amazon.com you have to automate, right? So after login to the opening the sites, so you have to navigate to the home page, right? Where you will be providing the user ID and password. After that you will go to the product details page. So after that you will select the relevant product, and then it will go to the cart, and you will add the cart and you will make the payment. After that you will close the browser. So for each and every transactions there will be several pages will be there, and in several pages you have to identify several elements which will be right for which you need to perform the operations. Okay. So first for each and every page you will create a separate class where you will identify all the web element for which you need to perform the operation, and then in that particular class itself you will write down all the important method or functions, right, to perform the operation on the web element for that web page. So that's why for each and every class there will be separate class. For each and every page there will be separate class where we will keep all the details of the web element properties, as well as we will create method or function for each and every actions. Okay. So this class file consists of different web elements present on the web page. Moreover, the test script then use these elements to perform different actions on those web elements. Since each page web element are in a separate class file, the codes become easy to maintain and reduce code duplicity. As we are creating separate class for each and every pages, so whenever any particular page some web element need to update or add or delete, so we'll go to that particular class and we will update the relevant right properties for that particular web element, or in case we need to add more methods, so we'll just go to that particular page and we will update the page accordingly. Okay. So what are the basic advantages for page object models? So it helps with easy maintenance. Okay. So page object model is useful when there is a change in the UI element or there is a change in any actions, right? So you already taken all the properties, right, for all the web element present in the particular page in that particular class, and you already written the methods. Now suppose say particular web element is getting changed. Suppose say web element initially it was like drop down, but after that it was changed to radio button, right? So you have to correct the properties, I mean web element locator for that web element, right? After that maybe you need to also update the method, because initially it was drop down. So obviously you have written the method to select the drop down, but it is web radio button. So you have to update your method also accordingly, right? So that it will select particular option from the radio button. Okay. So that is the one important aspect, right? Which will help page object model will help with easy maintenance. Then next is it will help with reusing code. By using page object model, user can use the test code for any one of the screen, right? And reuse it in other test case. Suppose in case same sort of page, right? Suppose say I already mentioned, right, the Amazon example. Suppose you need to log in and then you need to select some product, and login will be used multiple times, right? And this functionality will be used multiple times. So we will create the class for that home page, right? Where you will be entering ID, password, and you will be clicking on the sign in button like that. So as and when you want to do perform some operation, definitely you have to log in. So we'll call the same methods multiple times. So there will be reusing of the code will happen, right? Okay. There is no need to rewrite code, thus saving times and effort. Definitely it will save both time and effort, and definitely at the end of the day it will save dollars, right? Then readability and reliability of script. When all scripts have independent Java files, right, one can easily identify actions that will be performed on a particular screen by navigating through the Java file. So in case you already know the page name, so definitely we will go to the page name, and we can also update the relevant methods whatever already written to perform the operation for a particular web element. Okay. If a change must be made to a certain section of code, it will be efficiently done without affecting other files, right? So obviously in case suppose say I've just given the example, suppose the suppose the drop down field has been updated to radio button, right? So initially we have identified the particular web element with the web element locator technique, but as it's changing to radio button, definitely its value, web element locator value will change. We need to update the web element locator value. After that, as we return, right, the program or methods, right, or functions to select drop down value, but now it is radio button. So obviously we have to update the method pertaining to that particular functionality. So now instead of drop down selection, it will select the relevant radio button from the list of options. So only we will update the relevant section of code without affecting other lines of code. So that is the one most important, right? So the main advantage is it will help with easy maintenance, it will help with reusing code, and it will help readability and reliability of the script. Then whenever we will be creating, right, the any framework with the help of POM, right? So this is the architecture, right? As and when we will be creating some Maven project, right? So there will be four basic folder. One is SRC main Java, then SRC main resources, then SRC test Java, and SRC test resources. So in the SRC main Java, we'll create four packages. Okay, one is for pages, one is for base class, one is for listeners, one is for utility. Okay, in the SRC main Java, and in the pages packages, we'll create the class for each and every web page, right? So web element of the applications and the method that operate on this web element are maintained inside a class file. So it will create single class file for each web page. And in the test base class, right, under the base packages, we will set up browser and website to execute test script. It will also can have, right, the importance method for identifying web element properties. Okay, just like I want to identify properties through ID or class name or maybe name, XPath, CSS. So we'll keep that particular attribute, right, CSS or XPath in that particular homepage class. But we will write that property, we will write the method, or write which attribute it will try to select that element. Okay, and the listener packages, we will create the class. It can be test listener to add custom log after implementing iTest listener and iShoot listener interface, right? So if I want to generate some custom log with the help of these two listener interface, so we'll also add one class for test listener. Then we need to use some utilities package, create some utilities package under the SRC main Java folder, where we will create separate class, right, for reading external test data. Okay, or also suppose if I want to capture some screenshot for the failed test case, or even also I need to capture screenshot for each and every page, right? Also in case I need to use extend report, so I need to create separate class in the utilities folder, right? Just like test data read, right? So suppose in case I want to read data from external sources, like it can be a Excel file or CSV or other file, so I will write all the importance program in that particular class, right? Read test data. So that will help me to identify, right, the test data from the external source, and it will I mean automatically use it in our main test case class, right? Then in the src test java folder, right, where we will be creating the test case, right, where we will be keeping all the test case we can segregate, we can create test case folder for smoke test, functional test, integration test, regression test, like that, right? So we can create a single test case or multiple test case or suite, right? So we'll be placing all the test case in the right src.test.java folder, where we'll be creating a package called test cases, and then src/test.resources folder, right, we will be creating several packages, right? One is for test data, where we will be placing the excel sheet, right, from which we want to read the data, right? We will create a package for executables called executables, where we will place all the drivers, right? It can be iDriver, it can be Firefox driver, it can be Chrome driver. Instead of keeping in our local system, we will place everything in the framework, so that it will help us to execute, right? In case why we will not keep in in our local drive, right? Suppose say if I already created the framework, right, and later point of time the same framework need to be used by the other person, right? So in case I keep some of the executables like drivers in our local, so it will create problem, right? Whenever the other person will download, and it will import, create new project with the help of this project, so it will create a problem. That is the reason we will keep everything in our project, okay? And then the properties file, right? This is useful for like configure and log4 properties. In the will create the properties packages will create some folder called config or log4j, where we will create the in the config file we will create the important config, like the URL, suppose implicit timeout or browser, whatever browser you need to perform the operation, we will create everything in the, we will place everything in the config, right, dot properties file. And also we will create log4j properties file for like in case we want to generate like log4 log, so we will definitely we are creating separate folder in the properties packages. Then we will create a package called log, where we will be creating folder called applications log, right, and where we can in case you are using some loggers or maybe some listeners, definitely we can verify that our execution is successful or not, okay? So now, so this is the architectures, okay? So let's create a Maven project here, okay? So I will create a Maven project here first, right? So first I will create a Maven project. Then in the Maven project I need to add all the dependency, right? Suppose for in case I want to use first testng, right? So then I need to add the dependency for testng. In case I want to deal with like Selenium WebDrivers, some I want to use some classes or interpret from Selenium WebDriver, then also I need to import the dependency or add the dependency in the POM packages for the Selenium WebDriver. In case I need to use extend report, right, and I need to read and write data from the Excel sheet, I need to add all the dependency for the Apache PY. So I will slowly let you know how to add dependency and how to create a framework from the scratch, okay? So here just click on the open Eclipse, then click on the new, and then here click on the others. So I will create a Maven project, just type Maven here, so you will find that option Maven project, just click on the next, right, select the option, create a simple project, skip archetype selection, click on the next. Here you can give some group ID called POM, and here you can give like framework development or design using POM. So that is the artifact ID I am giving. Then click on the finish button, okay? So immediately that project will be created, right? Maven project will be created, framework design using POM. And if you expand the project, you can see there is a src file and there is a POM file, right? If you expand that src file, you can see here, there will be the different folder will be there, src main java, src main resources, src test java, src test resources, right? So I already mentioned this thing where I need to create packages. So then the src main java, I will create 4 packages. One is for pages, one is for base class, one is for listeners, one is for utility, and src test java will create the packages for test cases, and in the src resources will create packages for test data sheet, executable files, properties, and the log. Right here, before that, okay, let's open the pom xml files and let add all the dependency, right, which is required in the pom xml files. Right, so you need to double click on the pom xml file, and after that you need to go to that xml file, pom xml. Here, like already group id and artifact id, version is everything there, and you need to add all the dependency one by one. So you need to use tag dependency, so it will automatically coming, right, and in the dependencies tag you will add all the dependency. So now I will add 2 dependency. One is for Selenium WebDriver and another is for, right, for TestNG. So if you search here Selenium Java dependency, and if you click on the search, so you will get all the relevant, right, dependency. So you need to select Selenium Java. After that you can get all the version. So we will take some stabilized version. So I can take 3.14.0. if you just open it, so you can see all the dependency for Maven, right, Gradles, Grape, all the relevant, right, build validation tool, you will get the dependency. So I will simply copy paste the dependency for, right, Selenium Java, and I will paste here. Then I will also add the dependency for TestNG, right. So here I will search TestNG dependency, Selenium TestNG dependency, and I will click on the search. Here you need to select TestNG. After that I will go for some stable TestNG version. So I can go with 6.13.1. So I will add the dependency for TestNG. So just simply copy paste. No need to remember anything. Just go to the maven repository.com folder and you will get all the dependency for Maven. I will add the dependency. After that you need to save it, and let's see any error message is there or not. So it will take some time for building the workspace, whatever dependency has been added, right. So you can see it is building workspace, so 14%, so it will be completed, so it will show 100%. It is still working. It will take some time, maybe couple of seconds. Okay, it's done. Now I already mentioned, right, we have to create some packages. So first we will select src.main java folder, right, src.main.java folder, right. So this is the folder will be select, and here we will create several packages, right. First we will create packages for whatever has been mentioned for pages, right. So I will right click, I will click on the new, and I will go for packages, right. So I need to give the packages name com.pom, right, or pom.pages. Okay, com and .pom is for page object model, and this is the pages. So that is the package name I am giving here. Click on the finish, where we will be creating the classes for each and every pages, right. Suppose in case I want to deal with, suppose I want to automate Facebook page, right. So after opening the Facebook login URL, so this page will be open. This is called Facebook home page, right, where I will be adding, right, user ID and password, and I will be clicking sign in button. If I click, also I can click on the create new account or forgotten link account. I also click on that particular options, right. I can verify, create a page like that. So I mean I will create a class for, right, placing everything, all the properties, all the actions, right, for each and every pages. So that is the packages I have created first. Then I will create another package for base, right, which will be pom.base. This is the package where I will be create a class for test base, where I will be setting all the properties for browsers, website, and for execution script. Like also I can create some method for validations, right, and also I will create some method like which properties, like it will be identified or web element will be identified, like that. Okay, so I will create another packages in that folder which will be, right, com.pom.base, page object model.base packages. Okay. One second. I'll be creating another packages here, new and then package. Okay, I need to give packages com.pom.pages, sorry, base or base class. I'll create my base class. So I'll be creating the base. Then I will create the package listeners, right? com.pom.listeners, where we will create some classes, right? So that we can add some custom log after implementing IT test listener or IT suite listener interface. So I will be creating another packages here. com.pom.listeners. Okay. So right now we will not be using all the packages and we will not place all the class. So slowly we will try to develop the complete framework, where obviously we will create several pages and we will try to add assertion point, we will add these listeners, right? We will generate external report like that. Okay. Then I will create another packages for utilities, right? Where we will be adding all the methods for reading and writing the data from the external data sheets. Also we can create some classes, so that we will create method for capturing screenshot or for external report, or in case suppose I want to send the mails, so we will create the different classes to monitor mail as well. So, okay. So I will be creating another packages here, new package com.pom.utilities, where we will be placing all the classes for utilities. Okay. So that's done. Then in the src test java folder, I will create a package for test cases, right? In the src test java, this is the folder. I will be creating a package .pom .test cases, where I will be placing all the test cases, right? I can write test case one by one, or you can write a test suite like smoke suite, regression, integration, functional, like that, right? We will create a package, right? Then in the src test resources, we will be creating several packages. Okay, new package, one package will be, right, test data, where we will be creating excel sheet, right? We will be placing the excel sheet, test data excel sheet, test data. This is the package I am creating here. So this will be creating as a folder. Okay. So test data. Then I will be creating another packages, new package for executables, where we will place all the drivers, right? Which can be iDriver, it can be Firefox, Chrome driver, whatever driver will be used, we will place everything. Executables. Then we will create another packages in the resources folder, which will be, right, properties. So we will be placing all the properties file, right? It can be config property, it can be application property, it can be log4j property, like that, right? And we will be creating another packages like called log, where we will be placing all the logs, application log, into monitor, right? That my execution is properly happening or not. Okay. So that is the basic structure of the framework, where we will be using the page object model pattern, right? In the src main java folder, we will be creating 4 packages: base, listeners, pages, and utilities. In the base packages, we will create a class, base class, where we will be writing all the important methods, right? And in the pages, so for each and every web page, we will create separate class. And in the src/test.java folder, we will be creating a package for test cases, where we will be creating the test cases. And here in the src test resources, we will be creating several packages. One is for executables, one is for log, one is for properties, one is for test data. So in the test data, we can create some excels, right? And in the properties files, right, we will be creating some properties files, like for application properties, like that. Okay, config properties. So let's first create a properties file, right, in the properties folder. So what will the name I will be giving? I will be giving the name as config.properties, right? So select the properties file and right click here and click on the new and click on the, right, file, right? So you need to give the file name as config, config, config.properties, properties, exact name you need to give it, properties, PERTIS, and you can change it other in the config. So that is should be config, because we will be placing all the important config related stuff, and that in the property. So whenever you will be creating some framework, definitely you have to you use some standard protocol, right, so that it will be easy for the other tester also, and in case the other person is also working, or maybe after 6 months, 1 year time you will be also working, so you will forget, right. So you need to maintain some basic standard, right, so that it will be easy for other as well, and also it will does not violate the basic standard for automation, right. So here I have already created the config.properties file. So basic thing I will be entering here, right. I will be entering browser. Okay, this is the important field. Then I will be using another field called URL, right, entering. Then I will be also creating another field for implicit time, right. Whenever you are loading some page, you need to wait for some seconds so that page will be fully loaded. After that, some operation will be there. So you need to give some implicit time. Okay, in the browsers. So what if you want to deal with iBrowsers, Chrome, Firefox, you can give it. Says let's give the name as Firefox, so that it will be done in the Firefox. And URL, suppose if I want to work with the Facebook URL, I am placing the URL for here, Facebook. So in case if you want to change the browser name or URL, you will be changing in the config.properties file. Implicit timeout, suppose I want to give it for 20 seconds, so I am giving it 20 seconds. So after that you need to press save, right. Then I will be creating a class in the base package, right, com.base package. I will be creating a class. The class name I will be giving as test base, right, where I will be placing all the importance, right. I will be first reading the properties file, right, and then I will be, right, I will try to set up all the important details for the driver, right. So the relevant driver will be open. After that, it will load the page. It will wait for the implicit timeout. Okay. So let's create a class for test base. Before that, in the executable folders, let's place all the important driver for whatever driver I want to perform the operations, right. So suppose Gcode driver and Chrome driver are already here in my desktop. So I will be copy paste this driver in the executable folders, right. So you can see both the driver has been placed in the executable folder, right. So it will be available in the package. So right now, in case after creating the complete framework, suppose if I just send someone and someone extract and import it in the, right. So after sending it, so they can import the project, right, with selecting the framework, so that automatically that again the project will be visible in their, right, Eclipse, so that they can run the test case from their desktop or laptop. So that's the reason I am placing everything in the project level, in that framework design using POM project level. So Chrome driver and Gcode driver already placed, right. So in the test base class, right, I will be declaring some global variables. So what are the global variable I want to declare? So first I will be declaring the global variable for WebDriver, right, WebDriver class, WebDriver interface. So public static WebDriver driver, this is the variable. Where we will be using static keyword, because if you know like static, so immediately memory allocation will be done and it will be accessible in any of the class, in the main class level, right. That is the reason I am using the static keyword. Public is the access modifier, so that it will be accessible in any of the classes within that particular project, right. So let's import the WebDriver interface from the org.openq.selenium. Then I will be creating a variables for properties, right, properties file. So I will be using public static global variable properties, right, you know, right, properties equal to new properties. That's why we can create a instance of variables, right. So I will be giving the name as config equal to new properties. Okay, we need to import properties from the java.util package, because these are Java properties. Then I will be declaring variables for file input stream, right, through which we will be reading the data from the configs properties files. Public static file input stream is the class, and I will be declaring the variable as FIS, right? So I need to import file input stream class from the java.io package. Okay, so this is done, right? Then now we'll create a constructor. You know, right? Whenever if you want to create a constructor, so the name of the constructor should be same as the class name, right? So I'll be creating a constructor, public return type will be void, and then the class name is the same as constructor. Okay, and here I will read all the details, right? And I will try to launch browsers, right? Whatever browser has been set here, right? I already said browser equal Firefox, so this is the basic three field I have entered, URL and implicit type, right? So I will try to utilize all these things. So I will whatever variable has been created, right, for a file input stream, so I want to, right, enter the details. So FIS equal to new file input stream, and where I will be placing the path of the file, right, config file. So file input stream FIS equal to new. Just I declared the variable, so here also you can write if file input stream, then variable name, then new file input stream, but I already created a global variable, so that you can be accessible, right, at any of the method level. That is the reason I have created the global variables. Okay, then I need to give the path of the config properties file, right? So select the files, press Alt Enter, right? So you can navigate to the path location. So this is the path, right? So you can take the path and you can give the path here, right, within the double quote, and you need to end with colon. Okay, now you can see error message gone. Whenever you will be dealing with some file input stream, right, you have to add throw declaration or surround with try catch block. So I will be adding surround with try catch block, right? Now here you can see, so I am giving the path here, right? C drive, users, workspace and framework, the project name. Okay, but say some point of time, in case some other person is using, right, they will not able to access my C drive, right? So that path I can replace. Okay, so how you can replace it? So you need to replace with system.getProperty user.directory. So let's try to print something here. Okay, let's try to create a class. Okay, so that you can, or in the test case, let's create a wrap package, wrap class. Okay, wrap test. So I am creating a class wrap test in the test package, where you can do your all the wrap work, right, instead of doing in the real class. So you can do some wrap work, right? So let's try to use that particular syntax, right? System dot get properties, right, get property, and here you need to use user dot directory, right, and here I need to print it out so that I can get the path iso method. Okay, let's print it out and let's see what is giving me output. Okay, user dot directory, what is the error message coming? Okay, it is not coming here because system dot get property user dot directory, you need to give it within the double quote. Okay, now you can see no error message is there. Now let's run it and let's see what is the path is giving till that particular user dot directory with that syntax. So we can see it is giving you the path till the framework, right? Okay, so see, then users, then name and workspace and the framework. So that part I will replace with that particular code, right? I will be replacing here in the base class, so that any point of time right? Other person want to import it from the project, so they will not no need to change the path. So I'll be changing it, right? So here I'll be changing it to, okay. Then the remaining part I will be concatenating, right? So I'll be using plus sign. What is the remaining path? So I need to remove that path, right? Till that part I'll be removing here, till the src, right? So I'll be removing, because that is the path I am removing. C user name workspace and framework form. So I'll be removing remaining part. I'll be concatenating, right? So I'll be adding it, okay. So that's way you can change it with the help of system.getProperty user.directory, right? So I'll be giving the path from the project. So whenever other person will be using their system, they no need to change the path, right, from through their workspace. So automatically it will be by default to project, and then src is the folder, right? Src is the folder, src test resources, right? And then the properties config.properties. So that is the path. So it will work, okay. Now let's save it, okay. So I already tried to read with the FIS variables, then okay, I will be creating some method, right? So that I will try to inspect, I mean, whether my browser is equal to Firefox or equal to IE or equal to Chrome, like that, okay. So let's give some if condition here. So I'll be giving condition as if. So I'll be using that parameter config, right, through which I am reading the properties file, config dot get property, and here I what property I want to select through browser. This is the browser, through browser. So I have to give you through browser. So here I'll be giving double bracket, double quote browsers, right, dot, right. So in case browser is equals, so I'll be using that method equal ignore case. So in case I am giving is lowercase or uppercase, it will does not matter. If it is equal to Firefox, okay. In case I want to deal with Firefox driver, in case it is equal to Firefox, then I want to launch the Firefox driver, right? Okay. So how many bracket is there? This is close, okay. If config dot get property, here there will be no bracket, okay. So there will be no bracket, equal ignore case Firefox, okay. Then I want to launch the Firefox browser, right? So you need to set the properties, right? System dot set properties for the Firefox driver, right? Set property, and here I need to give the key for Firefox driver, right? So what is the key? WebDriver dot gcodriver, gco dot driver for the Firefox driver, right? And the value I'll be giving, so it will be double quote, right? And value, what is the value? So here the Firefox driver for the gcodriver, right? You can get the path here. So similar way I can get the path. So value will be system dot get property till the value I will be taking it, and I will be changing it, okay. Let's say take it. So value part I will be taking it, system dot get property user directory. So it will be till that particular POM folder, right? After that src test resources, right? Then I will be taking the gcodriver.exe, right? I need to write, okay, and I need to take the executable folders, right? Okay. So that project I already got it through the system.getProperty user.directory, okay. And then till that part src I already given with the concatenation, then test, then resources, then here instead of properties I will be giving the executable folders, exe cutables, executable folders, and then the name will be gcodriver.exe, gcko driver dot exe. Okay, now here error message is coming. I need to give one single bracket, I need to close with semicolon. So error message gone, right? So if in case get property browser is equal to Firefox, so then I will try to launch the I want to launch the Firefox driver. So I am first setting the properties for the Firefox driver, right? Then I will be using object instance for the web driver, right? So this is the driver I'll be using, right? You know, web driver equal to new Firefox driver for launching the Firefox. So driver equal to, as I already created the global variable, so it will be used multiple times, right? Driver equal to new Firefox driver. That is the syntax. So it will be throwing some error. We need to import Firefox driver. Okay. Then I will be giving some else if condition. Suppose in case if you want to deal with multiple browsers, suppose in case iDriver, Firefox driver, other driver, so you can give some else if condition. So I will be giving another for Chrome driver. So I will be giving else if. So I will be giving the condition as in case else if the config.get property browser equal to Chrome, ignore case, right? Then I will be adding some, I will be setting the properties for the Chromes and I will be launching to Chrome driver. So here I will be setting the properties for the Chromes. So this is the syntax is webdriver.chrome.drivers, CHROME, and I need to give the path of the Chrome driver, right? So it will be till that page object model, then src, then test and resources, then executable folders, and here the driver name you need to change it, right? Instead of gco driver it will be chrome driver, chrome.exe, right? Chrome driver.exe, CHROME, chrome driver.exe, and it will launch the Chrome browsers, right? So I will be using Chrome driver instead of Firefox driver. I need to use Chrome driver, CHROME, Chrome driver. Okay. So now I need to import the Chrome driver class from the org.openq.selenium Chrome. Okay. So this line of code I have written for identify the driver. In case you are having more driver, you can add it with the if else loop, right? Else if loop. So in case if you have I driver, so you can make it I and you can set the path for I driver, and here you will like driver equal new I driver, right? So now I will deal with two driver. If you have more driver, because in my desktop there is no I driver I have downloaded, so that is the reason. Well, I did not generally do my testing with I, but if you want to do it, you can add it, so that also it will take for the I driver, right? So here in that base class, in the base package, I am creating a base class where I will be declaring all the global variable for WebDriver interface driver, and then I am creating a config variable for reading the properties, and then for the file input stream class I am declaring a variable FIs. Then I am creating a constructor, right, for the test based class. This is the syntax, same name, and here whatever variable I have created for the file input stream, I am trying to read the config file, so I am going to the location, right? So instead of that particular till the framework part, right, where workspace has been stored, so instead of I am using system dot get property user dot directory, after that I am giving that particular path, right? Src dot test dot resources, then properties folder, then config dot properties. So I will be reading the file. Okay. After that, reading the file, I need to also load the file, right? Okay. So after reading the file, I will be loading the file, right? Try catch, here also I need to load the file. So how will load the file? So I need to use that variable for config, dot load. So I will be loading the file. and here I need to pass the variable for FIS, right? You can see some error message is coming, so we need to surround with again try catch block. Okay, so here after reading the files, right, I will be loading the files. Okay, so once load is done, then I can get the all the properties, right, for the, it can be browser, it can be URL, it can be implicit time, right? So now with the help of browser variables, whatever I have declared, I want to match, in case it is Firefox, so I will be setting the properties for the Firefox driver and I am launching the Firefox browser. In case it is setting with matching with Chrome, I will be setting the properties for the Chrome driver, so I already place all the files, Chrome driver.exe, Gcode driver.exe, right? So this is the syntax for Gcode driver, webdriver.gcode.driver, and for the Chrome, webdriver.chrome.driver, and this is the path, complete path, and the new Chrome driver. So now it is done, right? Then I want to pass the URL. So how can I pass the URL? Okay, so I will be using the driver instance dot get, right? So get, here I will be not providing hard-coded value. Instead of that, I will be using the variable for properties file, right? Config dot get property, right? Get property, and I will be passing the parameter is URL, right? As it is URL, I have created it, right? So I have given the URL. This is the parameter I have given. So now it will get the URL, right? Then I also want to maximize the driver. So driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. I'll maximize the window, right? Then I will give some timeout. So driver dot manage dot timeouts, right? Where I can give some timeout, right? So I will be using config dot get properties, and I will be giving the variable name, whatever variable name I have given here, implicit time. Okay, now I need to end with colon. Now you can see some error message is coming, right? Because whatever value we will be putting, right, it will be considered as string, but it is integer, right? So you need to convert it, right, to integer. Okay, so if you right click here, okay, so you need to convert it. So how can you convert it? So the timeouts dot implicit await you have to given it. Let's cut paste it thing. Timeouts dot implicit await, driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicit await. Then here I will be providing the argument, right? How I can provide the argument? What is the implicit await I want to pass it? So I need to convert it with, to integer, right? So first I will convert it to integer, then I can give the time unit dot seconds, right? I second how many second I want to wait, time unit dot seconds. Here you can see error message is still there, so I need to convert it, right, to that variables to integer. So I need to use parseInt, right? So here after wait, implicit wait, you need to change it to integer. So I will be using integer dot parseInt, and it will be converted to integer. Then I will be using config dot get properties, and I need to implicit wait, I need to end with another bracket. Now it will not throw any error. You can see no error message is there. Okay, so it is done, right? Now I will create another method here, right? What is the method name I will create? I will be creating another method for quitting the driver, right? So public void, right, close driver, close browser. That is the method I am creating. And what will be the method body? Body will be driver.quit or close, driver.close. I want to close the browser, whatever driver I am opening, right? So that is the method I am additionally writing, and I am creating a constructor test base where I am putting all the properties for the drivers, right? In case it is matching with IE driver, it will open the, sorry, it is matching with Chrome driver, it will open the Chrome browser. It will matching with the Gcode driver, it will open the Firefox driver, right? It will pass the URL, whatever URL has been given in the config file. It will maximize the browser, it will wait for that particular seconds timeout we have given, implicit timeout, right? Implicit time. And also we can also add a method called close browser, right? So this is done. Now suppose I want to automate Facebook page, right? Facebook home page. Okay, so let's keep it here. Let's close the form.xml file. Okay, then I need to create a, once the test base class is created, I will create a class for each and every page in the pack pages folder. So suppose I want to automate Facebook page, right? So I will be creating a class in the pages folder. Suppose the class name is Facebook homepage, so that I can easily understand, right, what is the page and what is the actual name, Facebook homepage. Okay, so I will not selecting the main method. Okay, so Facebook homepage, and that particular page need to extend the base class so that it will take all the properties from the test base class. So I will extend, right? So now if you create multiple class, right, in that pages packages, so each and every class you need to extend with that particular class, test base class, so that whatever importance, right, methods you are writing here, like for it can be a web driver, it can be any generic method for different element locator technique, or it can be closing the driver, it will be, right, extending, so it will inherit all the properties, right? So I'll be use extends keyword, extend, this is the class name, so you need to import it, right? So I'll be importing test base class from com.pom.base package. So now it is done, right? Now for each and every operation, right, whatever I will be doing here in the Facebook page, so I will create a single method here, right? I will be creating method, but now for the session I am not, right, identifying the properties, I am not placing in that particular package, in the particular class. So later point of time I will show you how to automate, right, all the properties whatever I will putting here as part of your ID or your name or your CSS or expert like that, but here I will be hard coding it, right? So I will be creating a class called public void. This is the syntax of the class, right, void, and then suppose I want to add some value, right, in the email field, so it will be enter, method name will be enter email. So this is the syntax for creating a method. So this is the simple syntax, access modifier, return type, and the method name, right? This will be, some bracket will be there, and all the method body will be entering in the second bracket. So I will be identifying the properties. First field driver.find element by dot, and first let's identify the email field. So you need to press F12 button from the keyboard. Let's identify. So what is the unique properties there? ID equal to email. So I can identify the through ID, right? By dot ID dot ID I am giving as email. Okay, and here as it is a text field, I can send some keys. So everything I am hard coding right now. Dot send keys, and send keys is suppose say email 1 2 3 4 5. I want to add it, right? Then I will create another method for entering password, right? So I will first inspect the password field. So what is the ID? Pass. So I am changing the method name as enter password. Okay, and here I am changing it to pass. The ID is pass, right? Is ID is pass, and here I will be entering the send keys as password 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, Then I also want to click on the sign in button or login button, right? So I need to identify the web element properties for the login button. Okay, so the name is login and type is submit, so I can create a XPath for that particular field, right? So how you can create XPath? So let's press Ctrl F, and what is the tag name? Tag name is button, so /button, then third bracket, and you need to give @type equal to submit, right? So properties name type equal to properties value dot submit within single quote. No need to end with code, we need to end with, you can see only one element is fine. So this is the XPath I have created. Okay, so I will be creating another method for sign in button, public void, right, click login, right, click login or sign in. So the button name will be click, definitely it will perform the click operation, click sign in. So that is the operation I want to perform. So here I will be identifying it with by find element by dot XPath, right, and XPath I will be giving here whatever XPath I have created. So let's give the XPath. I need to close with another bracket, then add is X button, so I will be clicking the operation. So this is the simple method I have created in the main class, sorry, in the page class, right? The page is Facebook homepage. So for each and every, if you want to add more properties, right, if you want to click on the forgot link, click on the create new one, you need to add method for each and every field, whatever you want. If you want to create a page like that, so whatever importance attribute you want to use in your test case, and also you need to take the properties, and also you can create a method. But right now for the first session I am not taking any properties here. I am not using the page object model completely, but going forward I will let you know how to use all the properties and how to use them using find by locator like that, and how to, instead of like ID email like that, we will be creating some method in the test based class, and we will be directly taking it that particular web element locator value. Okay, and here instead of hard coding something, we can take the data from the Excel, right? So we'll be creating some Excel sheet in the test data folder, and we'll be taking the data sheet. So we'll be using some data driven technique here. Okay, so going forward it will be slowly I will let you know. We'll be using some logger class, right, so that you can get every complete log here, right. We'll be using some application log, so that also you can verify that your execution is happening properly or not. Okay, and we'll be using some listeners, right. Okay, we'll be using some utilities for like extend report, so that you can get the better report, right, and also you can monitor me through mail, right. So this is the right now in the Facebook homepage page, in the whatever pages class I have created, Java class, in the pages folder. So I have created 3 method. Okay, now in the test case folder I will be creating a test case. Okay, I will be creating a class which will be, suppose I am giving the class name as test Facebook page. You can change any. So I will not selecting any public static void main, because I will be using test_ng annotation, right. So I will be using test_ng annotation. So I will be using @test here in the class @test. So I need to import @test. So here some error message is there. Why @test is not taking complete? Let's need to check the config file. I'll be checking the pom XML file whether my test_ng has been added or not, dependency has been added or not. Okay, so test_ng dependency has been added here. If I want to check the depend jar file, so here some test_ng file should be there. No, it is not showing. Okay, Selenium is added, testing is added, but it should now it should not throw any error. Okay, let's use @test. Here I will be creating whenever I will be creating @test, I need to create a method here, right? So I will be creating a method here, public void, and method name suppose test Facebook homepage. This is the method I am creating. So you can see now its annotation is coming, and whenever you are creating a method, you need to close with bracket, right? So now you can get the @test annotation for import, right, from org.test engine to annotation. So this will be test case. Okay, so this is the test case I am writing here. So I have created two more classes. I have created the config.properties file where I will be placed all my URLs and the browsers and the implicit time, and I have created a base class where I am, with the help of config properties file, test base class, I want to match it, it is IE, or sorry, it is Chrome or it's Firefox. So I will be launching the Firefox driver or Chrome driver. After that I will pass the URL, I will maximize the browser, and I will use some implicit time, right, whatever has been config property has been given. And also I have created a method for closing the browser, and then in the com.pom.pages packages I have created the first class for that Facebook homepage where I am inspecting three elements for email field, password field, and the sign in button. So I have created three methods, right, for entering email field, email 12345, and for entering password, and for clicking on the sign in button. Now I have created a test case class which is like test Facebook page, where I will be creating a method test Facebook homepage. So where I will be calling all the method written in the Facebook homepage, right? So I need to create an object or instance first, right? So I will be creating an object or instance here first for the Facebook homepage. Okay, so I am giving the object as object equal to new. That is the syntax you need to give it. So once it is done, you can see here some error message is coming. We need to import. So it is done. Then with the help of object, first I need to call the method, right, for launching the browsers. So I will use the constructor test base. First I will call the constructor test base so that my browser properties will be set based on the config properties given here, right, Firefox, and then it will launch the URL and it will wait for timeout. So everything will be, all the method I have written in the test base constructor. So first I will call it, right, in my class. So object dot test base, I will be calling it. Once page is fully loaded, I will call the method for entering emails, right? So I will be calling it obj dot enter email. You can see it's coming. Then I will be entering password, obj dot enter password. Then I will be using click, right, sign in, that particular method I have written in the Facebook homepage. Then I need to quit the browsers, right? So that I will quit the browsers, close the browser. Okay, so obj dot quit the browsers, obj dot close browser. So that method I will be creating, and here I can give some output if I want to check in the consoles, right? Obviously after clicking in button, so some error message will be there. So I want to print out in the console that Facebook login should be unsuccessful, right? With given email and password, because I have given any random ID password, so it will be unsuccessful, right? So this is the syntax output I want to generate in the console as well. Now if you want to wait for some seconds, you can give some thread time, right? So suppose after entering an ID and password, if you want to wait for some second, thread.sleep for checking purpose whether your script is working or not. Suppose 3 seconds, I can wait for 3 seconds. So here you need to add with surrounds with try catch block, you can surround to it. Similarly, after that clicking also, if you want to wait for 6 seconds, you can give some more thread.sleep timeouts. Okay, so this is the test case I have created. So first you will create a Maven project, then we will add all the dependency, right, in the pom.xml file. Then in the main.java folder we will create 4 packages. One is base package, one is listener, one is pages, one is utility, right. And here in the java src.test.java folder we will create the packages for test cases, right. And in the src.test resources we will create folders for executables, packages, log, properties and test data. And test data where we can create some excels. In the log we can create some application log. In the executable we will be placing all the drivers, and in the properties file we will be creating the config file. So these are the basic config properties. I want to read it from config file. So in case it is changed, we need to change it any point of time, we will just simply change it. We can give the browser, we can give the URL, we can give the implicit timeout, which is at the project level, not at the page level, right. I want to maintain it. After that I will create a base class where first I will read the config file, right. So I have declared 3 variables here. Global variable, one is for WebDriver, one is for config properties file, one is for file input stream. So I am reading the file first. After that I am loading the properties, right. After that I am matching whether in case browser is equal to Firefox, so it will set the properties for the Firefox driver, and it will launch the Firefox driver. In case the properties is matching with Chrome, so it will launch the set the Chrome driver properties and it will launch the Chrome browser. After that it will get the URL whatever has been given in the config file. It will maximize the driver. It will wait for. I added some implicit wait timeout. After I also added a method for closing the driver. Then I have created a class for Facebook homepage because I want to automate the. I want to enter email ID, password, and login page. So I have identified the element. I have created 3 different methods or functions for entering emails, password, and sign in. Then in the test cases packages, I have created the main test case whatever test case I want to execute. So this is the given class name test Facebook page. So here I have entered a method called test Facebook page. So I need to create the first object or instance for the pages page level, where that page I am extending the base test base class. So after creating the object, first I am calling the methods whatever has been written for initiating the drivers and launching the URL, right. After that I am calling the method for entering emails and entering email here, entering password. It's not emails, so it will be enter password, object dot enter password. Okay, I am entering email, entering password. Then I will wait for a few seconds so that I can show you that after that it's click on the sign in page. After the sign in page some error message will be there. Okay, but I will not handle the error message here. So in later session I will show you how to insert some verification point or assertion so that you can check the error message, and also you can click on the others button here, right. Just kind of if you want to click create a new account, or if you want to click on the forgotten password, so you can go to the new pages, and also you can get in add some relevant values here. Okay, and after that once it is done, it will print that output Facebook login should be unsuccessful with the given email ID. After that I am closing the browser. So now let's save everything, and now let's run the test case from the test Facebook page.java class. So you can see here only as it is running from the test case class level, so test ng test is coming, but right now I can also run it from the test ng XML file. I can create a test ng XML file by converting the Java project to test ng, and also I can run it from the pom.xml file after adding the different dependencies or profiles. Okay, so now let's run at that test ng test level. Later point of time I will develop the framework one by one, so you can get all the details here. Okay, some error message is coming. Illegal exception, the driver executable does not exist, right. The path I have given here gcode driver.exe executables okay, you can see here it is 2 executables. So I have given executable, so it is not exist, so I need to change it in the test base class. So here it is executables, but here you can see double C is placed, right? So I will take the details from here. Let's press F2 and let's take it from that particular folder whatever I have given. So now if I give the executable folders, the path here it's not executable, so double C spread, so it will try to match from that exact path, right? So I need to also change it here. Okay, now let's change it. So you can if you were not running anything, if it is giving any some error, you can get the error details from your relevant log, right? So no need to worry, you can see the log and which number, what is the exact log it's coming, right? Now let's save it and we'll try to run it, the test case again, and let's see whether your test case is running or not. So definitely you will do some mistakes, and from the mistake you will get the details of the logs like from the consoles, and you can see, you can correct them, and you can after that you can build your framework in a better way, right? Now it is, you can see it's Mozilla Firefox, and I have given as Firefox, so it is launching the Firefox browser, right? And it is entering the URL for Facebook page. After that, it will identify email field and entering. After that, you wait for 3 seconds, and after that, you will click on the login button, right? So my code is absolutely working fine, and you can see the error message is coming, and it's quitting the browser. And in the output, you can see, right? Output, you can see test case is passed because we did not give any assertion point, right? So just simply we want to perform the operation called, just I want to identify the email field, I want to enter some email, I want to enter some password. After that, I want to click on the sign in page, and then I will quit the browser, close the browser, and I want to get the output, right? As the output is, you can see the output will be coming here, right? Facebook login page should be unsuccessful with the given email password. Okay? My test case is absolutely working fine, right? That is the reason everything is passed. Now in the target folder automatically something will be created. Let's refresh the page, right click the project, and then click on the refresh button. So you can see in the target test output folder you will get all the details output, right? Now if you select, right, emailable report.html, and if you press alt enter, so you can get the path, right? So you can get the emailable report here. So if you copy the path and if you open it in the browsers, and you can get the details of the report. Okay, you can see the details report is right coming, right? Default test, as I am not using any test ng XML file, so it will default test name, and passed you can see total number of time it's given, right? And this is the right package name com.pom.test cases package. You are running it, you are running the test case from that, right here. And this is the class name, test Facebook page, this is the class name, and this is the method name, right? Method name is this test Facebook homepage, right? This coming, and start time and total number of time 44 seconds and 10 millisecond default test. You can see here number of run and passed, right? If you open the default test, now nothing will be available because we did not add all the loggers and not added any customs reports, right? Extended report. If you add it, so you can go to the back to the summary. So nothing is working, but no need to worry. So we'll be implement everything one by one. Okay. Now say instead of Firefox, I want to run it for Chrome browser. So simply I will change it to Chrome, and here I want to give the timeout instead of 20, I want to wait to give it for 30 seconds. So I am just changing it, I am just saving it, right? So now what happens? It will run for the Chrome's browser. Okay. Now after saving it, let's go again to the test case and let's run it once more. Okay. And if you want to change the output, so Facebook login should be unsuccessful with given email and password in Chrome browser. Okay. Now if you run it, So it will launch the Chrome browser first. It will open the Facebook page. It will identify the email ID passwords and enter it. After that, you will wait for 3 seconds. Then it will click on the login page. Right? It is entering. It will wait for 3 seconds. It will click on the login button. After that, it will quit the browser. You can see number of run is 1, failure is 0. Right? And you can see past test case, and here the output is coming also, right? Password in Chrome browser. So whatever correct output I have given, right? So that's way you can try to using page object models, right? Pattern in any framework. So here I started creating the framework from the scratch. So using with the help of POM object models, right? Page object model pattern, I will develop the complete framework slowly. Okay. So maybe 5 to 6 or 7 session will be there, right? But it will take some time, but slowly I will try to develop the same framework, okay? And I will try to enhance the framework day by day, and you will get to know what are the other thing we can implement it, right, for the framework, right? So I will also try to create more test cases for different pages. I will try to create class for different pages. I will try to create more test cases for different pages. Then I will add some assertions, right? Okay. Then I will add some custom log files. Then I will use the listener classes interface, right? Listener interfaces. Okay. Then I will read the data from the external data source. We will add the utilities to capture the screenshot. We will add the utilities for external report and monitoring the mails, right? And also we will create some application log where we can get the details thing. We can add some loggers. So no need to worry. You will learn so day by day. So please, if you want to learn page object model and if you want to design some frameworks from scratch, so please go through my page object model related video sequentially, so that you will learn how to create like framework, automation testing framework with the help of Selenium WebDriver, and definitely TestNG and Maven will be there, and with the help of page object model pattern. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Thank you.